Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Sydney from PhoneDoc.com and I'm back with the Motorola Titanium from Sprint and Nextel. Now this is an Android smartphone, but it uses Nextel's iDEN network and it also has direct connect capability. So if you're a business person and you need those features, but you're also looking for an Android smartphone with a physical keyboard, this might be a good option for you. Now we're going to go into the full review and details the pros and the cons to see if it actually is a good option for you, but it's definitely something to look into. So it's a Motorola Titanium from Sprint. Full review is coming right up. Before we get on to that, I have to say special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile. We thank them all the time because they send us free phones that we can add to our One Paw Bandit game, which is a game where you guys can win free phones, so you should be thanking them too. One of the great things about Best Buy Mobile is that they sell phones from every major US carrier, including some prepaid carriers. So if your contract is up and you're thinking about switching, instead of going to several different retail stores, you can just go to Best Buy Mobile and compare all of the phones that are available. So thank you, Best Buy Mobile, for being so awesome. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm Sydney from PhoneDoc.com. Let's go check out the Motorola Titanium. Okay, so the Motorola Titanium is one of Sprint and Nextel's new direct connect Android smartphones, and so it does have the direct connect button on the left. If you press it, if you do a long press, it'll take you to the direct connect menu where you can see your contacts. It also comes with a few direct connect widgets, one to launch your DC contacts and another widget to turn on or off direct talk. Along with that, it of course, as you can see, it uses Motorola's applications platform, or Moto Blur, whichever you want to call it. It's not the most updated version that you'll see on new phones like the Photon, which is also on Sprint. But it's also not, the original version that was just, really in your face. The version that really turned a lot of people off. It has some of those same elements, but again, it's not the most updated version. So you can see the dock at the bottom, still kind of reminiscent of that original Blur style. You have phone or call and then your contacts, and this will take you to your app drawer. If we go to the notification bar, you can see it has that blue gradient that Motorola added to the updated versions. So, but like I was saying, it does come with the usual Motorola widgets along with those direct connect widgets like I showed you. So you have airplane toggle mode or airplane mode toggle, Bluetooth toggle, data sync, date and time, GPS, messages, sticky notes, and then a Wi-Fi toggle. So here I have the date and time widget, sticky notes, messages. Now, typically in Moto Blur or Motorola's applications platform, these widgets are resizable. However, the version that ships with the Titanium, for some reason these widgets are not resizable. I've checked every setting. It could just be something that I'm missing, but I've checked everything I can possibly check and I can't resize these widgets. So, it's kind of a letdown because that was one of the things that people really liked about Motorola's UI, and one of the things that even I had to appreciate, even though I'm not a fan of the UI as a whole. It is nice to have those resizable widgets because if you're using another UI, you have to download a launcher or other things that will allow you to resize those widgets. But with Moto Blur, it just came right out of the box. However, with this it doesn't. And so if you think about like a messaging widget, I would actually rather this be larger, since after all it is text messages. But that's the default size, and I can't change it. Even if I were to go to a home screen where there's more space, it still only goes to that small size. So no resizable widgets with the Motorola Titanium, which is kind of disappointing, but you do still have some toggle widgets, and then the gradient. think that's kind of a nice design feature. Now, of course, along with that, there's also the typical Android widgets. You have Calendar, that's a widget that I've downloaded, Facebook, NASCAR, this is of course a Sprint device, so you have Sprint, NASCAR, Power Control, and then Football Live, again that's a Sprint feature, Twitter, and YouTube. Those were installed out of the box. Now also out of the box, you have a task manager. It's not available as a widget, but you do have a task manager available. you know, if that's your thing or if it's not your thing, you can just completely ignore it. It's not a widget, so it's not fully active in the background. It's only whenever you open it. Now, so, you know, being a direct connect phone, this is primarily geared towards business users. And so the features associated with the device or that ship with the device are, you know, again, business features. So you have the QWERTY keyboard. If we go back to the app drawer, you have, again, Direct Talk, Corporate Directory, File Manager. You also have Personal Portal and Quick Office, a couple of apps that I have downloaded. Telenav. So, you know, features like Quick Office, Personal Portal, those are, you know, corporate features that will be very useful for enterprise users, for business users. Now, for the average Joe, you know, you probably will never use those features. Another thing that's, you know, being advertised as a bonus for business users with the Titanium is the corporate email client. Now the corporate email client actually comes with just about every Android device, so that's not exactly a special feature. If you know, you would never use these other features, but the corporate email app is really what gets you. Don't think that, you know, the Titanium is the only Android phone with that feature. You could probably get any Android device and have a corporate email app. You know, Gmail is the default email client, but with the corporate email app, you can get that with any Android device. Now, again, going back to the physical keyboard, this is something that a lot of people are going to use. There's not a whole lot of Android devices out there with a physical keyboard, and so it's, you know, it's always nice whenever we see one. But, you know, it is actually a very good keyboard. If we go to the messaging interface here. Now you do also have a virtual keyboard. So if we go to input method, you have the Android keyboard and then swipe. Now the Android keyboard, I believe we have to be in landscape mode. Yeah, the Android keyboard, it doesn't look like the stock Android keyboard. So again, this is more of Motorola's custom UI there. But you do at least have an Android keyboard. I don't foresee anyone, you know, actually using the virtual keyboard, but, you know, if that's your thing, it does ship with it, and it's a decent virtual keyboard. So type out the quick brown fox. You know, it's kind of a weird angle since you have this physical keyboard sort of in your way, so your thumb kind of has to reach over, but you know, it's a decent virtual keyboard. But moving on to the physical keyboard, it's very BlackBerry-esque. So you can see the keys are angled, you know, angled to the left or to the right, depending on what side of the keyboard they're on. You know, much like a BlackBerry keyboard, the keys are plastic, but they do have a nice grip to them. Overall, the keys are great. The only problem I have with this keyboard is the fact that it is very small. And, you know, for me to say that, that's saying something, because I have really small hands. I mean, I'm a girl, so my hands are pretty tiny. So for me to feel like this keyboard is too small for my fingers, you know, that's saying something about the size of it. It just feels, it feels cramped. There's times when I feel like I'm kind of just holding this tiny little chiclet keyboard. And, you know, if you're a guy, I would be willing to bet that you're definitely going to have that problem. Again, you know, my hands are fairly small as it is. So if it's uncomfortable for me, I can only imagine what it would be like for someone that has larger fingers or larger hands. You know, for men, it probably will be a little uncomfortable. Now, that being said, the keyboard design is excellent. Like I was saying, it's basically exactly like a BlackBerry, which that's, you know, the best physical keyboard, some would say, on the market. So the design is great. So if you want to go to a store and just, you know, hold the phone and just see if it is too small for you, then that, you know, would be an easy thing to try to figure out. But overall, you know, keyboard design is great, just a little too small. We have the number pad here built into within the row of letters. Shift key, space bar, symbol, search key, enter, backspace. Now, if we talk a little bit about the physical design of this phone, this does actually meet military specifications for being water resistant, shock resistant, you know, dust resistant, can withstand high temperatures, low temperatures. Now it's not quite as solid as you know, some of the Casio Gs1 phones. You can tell by the way those are built. Those are, you know, heavy-duty solid phones. This isn't quite to that level, but it is still rugged to a certain extent. It does meet certain military specifications.